Hey people, Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, and today talking about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, NFTs, FTX. It's all a scam? Well, apparently some people think that's the case. Before I go on with any of this, let me just say the following. I'm not giving any financial advice. Truly, I'm not giving any financial advice at all. You do whatever it is, check with your accountant, that's your thing. I also will say that if you're ever considering spending a single cent in any of this, if it's either buying pictures of little cats, monkeys, or whatever nonsense you want to do, or at least the more reasonable thing for anyone trying to dip his toes in cryptocurrency, which is, at least in my estimation, Bitcoin would be the more reliable, the most sane thing. Don't spend a single cent you're not willing to lose. I've said this over the years. I will repeat it in every one of these videos. This could all just poof, go away. You don't have it in your hands. You don't have it in your in terms of anything that you can do much about it. If people all of a sudden agree it has no value, you do have control over it. That will not change. More on that later. One more thing, don't spend any money if you haven't taken care of this first. Food is going to be a lot more useful. You're watching a video in the Modern Survivalist channel. We're talking about preparedness. You're probably looking at this from a preparedness point of view. Don't put any of this in before taking care of this stuff, taking care of this stuff, that other stuff that you have over there, the things you need, or even more to the point, without having bought first my book, Surviving the Economic Collapse, which will of course be a lot more useful than any Bitcoin you buy. And of course, Street Survival Skills. Get these two before you go spending money into things that, it has no tangible use for you. Even though it has no tangible use, is it something that it's maybe worth considering as yet another tool to work with? Is this something that could potentially be useful like some of these things or not? Well, that's going to be up to you to decide. But I will share with you the information that obviously some people either didn't know or couldn't be bothered with or just don't get it right. I was just watching a video about a big YouTube channel, over 1 million subscribers, Crypto, the world's greatest scam. And the guy goes through Bitcoin, blockchain, ledger, NFTs, FTX, and cats and monkey pictures, and thinks it's all the same. This is not all the same, and I get it. It's not easy to understand. I understand enough just to feel confident in providing valuable information. That's why I'm doing these videos. I've also been doing it for enough years so as to have a certain level of confidence regarding some of the things I say, okay? And I'm very cautious as of not giving any, misguided information. One more thing, if you're looking at getting into Bitcoin, which is the only thing that personally I think it's serious enough and worthy of putting some money that, again, I'm more than willing to lose it. I won't be the end of me if I lose $100. Get yourself the Coinbase account. You'll have it there in the description, along with the links to my books in Amazon. There's a link to the referral of Coinbase in all of my videos. If you put $100, they give you $110 because of the referral. I get $10 as well. This will allow you to have $100 of Bitcoin. I wouldn't buy anything else. That's what I would personally do. You do you. But you can track it on your phone, and so be it. You have an idea how it goes. You track it, you see about sending it to your, buying something with it or sending to another wallet. And here is where we need to at least understand some basics. This is about technology. Bitcoin, blockchain is the technology in which Bitcoin is based. And the technology is neither good nor bad. It's actually, if anything, it's a revolution in itself, the blockchain technology that has applications so as to have an uncorruptible ledger of transactions. That's what's based on Bitcoin, right? But when someone says the world's greatest scam, you're not understanding what you're talking about. This is not a scam. This is mathematics. This is 2 + 2 = 4. You may like it or not. That's up to you. But 2 + 2 still equals 4. And resolving the equation, the algorithm of mining Bitcoin will give you a certain amount of Bitcoin. And if you bought Bitcoin and you actually were not scammed and tricked into, oh, here you go, sir, I sell you 1 Bitcoin. 20,000? No, this is just a piece of metal. It has a B on it. This is not Bitcoin. Bitcoin is ethereal. You cannot even have Bitcoin in your cell phone or even in your hardware wallet. The hardware wallet is just where you hold the keys to access your Bitcoin in the blockchain, in this ledger, in this accountability thing where all of the transactions with numbers are registered. They are anonymous because there's no name attached to each one. You can create a wallet at any moment. No one knows about it, but there's a ledger of all of these transactions which cannot be changed, cannot be modified. It is there, and that is the amazing revolution in the technology itself. That's tech. That's mathematics. Can you use that to trick people? Of course you can do that. That does not mean that this is a scam in itself, right? But here's where it gets confusing. You never hold your Bitcoin in your pockets. You don't have a physical thing. You don't even have it in your cell phone. What you have is the public and private key. This is a long number and letter combination. The public one and the private one. The public one is the one you give so as to receive, a Bitcoin, right? And the private one is the one that allows you to access to the ledger where all of that is listed. Without those two, you don't have it. Now, typical thing that you probably heard about, this scam that went on, Tom Brady, FTX, this little bastard right here, stole a lot of money. How did he do that? Because Bitcoin is a scam? No. He stole something that is valuable. That just goes to show that Bitcoin and some other cryptocurrencies are valuable in itself. This guy simply closed the doors and kept the money. Imagine your bank closing the door and not giving you back your money. That's exactly what happened with this guy. Now, the best way to explain this is what went wrong. Did something happen specifically? Is Bitcoin a scam? No, it's not. It's not. And here's where you see things like this, right? You see the picture of these two, Tom Brady and his wife or ex-wife, and a B, like, oh, that is Bitcoin, the big old scam. No, this is just people that stole Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies from a bunch of people that made the mistake that I always warn you about, which is don't leave your coins in the exchange. If you buy from, if I had bought $1,000 of Bitcoin in FTX and I send that to my private wallet, this guy would haven't touched a single cent of my money, right? You have to understand how this works. If you go to Coinbase, the exchange that I personally feel is, okay enough to even mention here, right? If you buy from Coinbase and you leave it in the exchange, if Coinbase one day closes doors, kind of unlikely, BlackRock got involved with Coinbase, one of the largest, most evil companies in the world. Probably there's a good reason why they have their fingers in there. But if you buy from Coinbase and if you buy $100 and you want to leave it there, I don't know, whatever. But any serious amount of money, you want to bring it to your own private wallet. It can be even a piece of paper, not recommended. Best thing to do is get yourself what's called a hardware wallet. That's like a USB drive with a little screen, a little combination button, and that's where you keep your keys. That's what allows you to access your Bitcoin in the ledger. And the blockchain technology, you're accessing that with those keys. It usually comes with a piece of paper, and some people use a piece of metal, and you can write a combination of 20 words, which would allow you to regenerate your keys even if you break or lose that little hardware wallet digital thingy, right? You can regenerate that with those words combined, okay? That's because, again, this is math. This is not a scam in itself. Now, this technology, and this is where this guy from this video, the world greatest scam, got it all confused. The same technology used for Bitcoin can be used to create not hundreds like it says there in the video. There's probably millions of cryptocurrencies. That does not mean that they all have value. I mean, I can create my own fur coin, right? It would have no value. It still would be based on the same technology. You could mine it. You could probably mine a lot of fur coin without having much of a problem, unlike Bitcoin, which is very competitive and it's going to be requiring a lot of technology, a lot of cards and energy to mine. You could probably mine my bullshit coin at any moment. My bullshit coin is based on the same technology. These are all very real, very solid technologies. But the bullshit part is that we have not assigned the same value to Bitcoin that we assign to Fernie coin, okay? That is where the scam begins, confusing people into thinking that it's all the same. NFTs, what the fuck are NFTs? Well, it's basically assigning the same technology, the same ledger that allows you to have a digital image, for example, a JPEG, right? That JPEG is assigned to a specific owner, and you are the only owner of that specific image. Well, yeah, you hold ownership of a freaking picture in a computer. That's all you own. Now, for some people, that has a lot of value. It could be worth thousands of dollars. For some people, there's also a lot of scams involved, by which you go online and you see, oh, an artist sold an NFT of his art for $16 million. Well, is it really true? Someone paid all of that, or they actually know each other, which it's mentioned in this video about crypto, the world's great scam. Well, they knew each other. They were benefiting from the publicity of this bullshit sale. Now, someone will probably legit buy an NFT because he thinks it's valuable. Now, is he right about it? I think that you own nothing when you own an NFT. It's just a code that assigns you ownership over something that is not material. And you could think, oh, Fernando, well, that's the same thing with this stuff, with Bitcoin. Well, no, it's not. Because the big difference, the main difference that the guy in the video didn't even mention, is that a currency, any form of currency, needs to be scarce. If there's infinite Bitcoins all over the place, Bitcoin would not be worth $22,000 as it's worth as of right now. Bitcoin is worth that much because you have to mine Bitcoin. You have to use cards, energy to mine Bitcoin each day. And there's a limited amount of Bitcoin that can be mined each day. And they try to make the case about, oh, it's using so much energy. You think that banks and buildings and corporations don't use energy as well? Come on, give me a break. That's not an excuse. But to the point is, NFTs are not scarce. I can create 1 million NFTs today. They would all be bullshit, like Donald Trump's superhero cards. Those are NFTs as well. But if something can be created constantly, in endless amounts, then that has very little value in terms of a currency. A currency needs to be scarce. Silver is not found everywhere. You actually find it, mine it, refine it. Same for this. You have to do labor, work. You have to spend money to create it. Bitcoin does have that. It is not easy to find Bitcoin. It's not easy to mine Bitcoin. And the mining part confuses people. Mining in itself is verifying these transactions that create the technology in itself. So it's very interesting, not easy to understand, but the key to understand is you never hold it in your pocket. You just have keys to access it from the blockchain, from this ledger that is composed out of millions of computers all over the world. Even if there's a solar flare that burns half the planet, there will still be plenty of computers that have the entire ledger as of who owns what. You could do this even with a piece of paper. Now, can this all lose value completely? Well, depends. Are you talking about Bitcoin? It's kind of unlikely. Are you talking about some of these NFT token bullshit things? About some of the crypto coins created by some greedy assholes that make a video game by which playing the video game, you mine the coin of the game, and they create this idea, this false sense of wealth, and they get people from poor countries playing the game and earning a few little bucks, and because of that, some people say, oh, this is super valuable, I want some little monkey coin, so I'll buy monkey coin for $1,000, and then at the end of the day, it's all, it's not something that we've all agreed on, that monkey coin is valuable. You can make monkey coin out of nothing, right? And they have control over it. That is not Bitcoin at all. That is not how Bitcoin works. That's why Bitcoin is still worth all of that money. Now, trying to wrap this up, what is it that you should keep in mind here? If you want to dip your toes, my advice, go with Coinbase. Yes, it is the evil, greedy monster that is BlackRock, but at the end of the day, it's also BlackRock. So that's where you can put $100, keep it in your phone, and then if you want to go deeper, get yourself the hardware wallet, and you can buy I'll leave a link also for a hardware wallet if you want to have more money and bring it to your own wallet, right? Which is what you definitely should do. Not leave anything that you're not willing to lose with any exchange. May that be whatever exchange that is. And the idea of NFTs, tokens being the same as Bitcoin, that is just not understanding what this is about. Also, it's mentioned that, oh, this is a Ponzi scheme. Well, if you're thinking that this is a Ponzi scheme, then you don't understand that it was not an investment to start at all. A Ponzi scheme is by which you give money thinking that it's being invested and you're getting, returned wealth. You're earning money with your investment. That is not it. Bitcoin is not creating any wealth. It's not generating wealth for you at all. You are speculating, yes, and it will go up. That's why you bought it in the first place. You think that eventually it will go up in value, and it has been doing that. Now, it also has been doing these spikes where it just goes up and crashes and goes up again and crashes. And we thought this was back in 2018. We thought, oh, $20,000. Are you kidding me? This is the worst bubble ever. Boom, down to 3, 4. And time goes by and it keeps surviving. At the end of the day, when you look at it, you say, oh, man, Bitcoin has gone up 35% in the last month. This is the best investment ever. I'll put my money into. And yeah, if you bought it a month ago, you now have, and you sell it now, you made 35%. That's nice, cool. That is playing a kind of dangerous game. Some people play the game very well, and you can kind of see. But from last year, it has gone down 37%. So you were holding, and it went down. Well, if you go back 5 years, if you go back from when it was worth less than $1, historically, this is the reality. This is the curve. It went from nothing to, after several crashes and hypes and whatnot, to $22,000. I would say that now you're kind of like in the lower level. I don't see it going a lot lower than this. That's my monkey brain logic here. I think that these things repeat themselves, these patterns. How long will it go, going up and down? But I think that there's a chance that, yeah, it could be the promised perfect currency of the future. I think there's at least a chance of that. And the historic, account of this kind of points in that direction. Can it all of a sudden drop to zero? Yeah, could perfectly well be the case. But my advice, keep it simple and don't waste time with any of this bullshit. Even though it's the same technology, it is not the same thing. NFTs are based on the same technology, but it couldn't be further apart from what Bitcoin really is, which is something that's worth $22,000 as of right now. The picture of a monkey, yeah, you shouldn't have bought that in the first place, pal. That was an awful idea. And are people using this? My final word of caution is, if you're even thinking, again, take care of the things you should be taking care of first, above everything else. These are the things you should be taking care of first, which is going to be a lot more useful for you in the real world. But if you want to have, eggs in different baskets, couple of bucks on Bitcoin, see how it goes. Use the Coinbase exchange thing. It is definitely more reliable. And stay away from all the bullshit coins that, even though they're based in the same technology, they're not, by any means, they're not the gold standard that this thing is, right? Bitcoin is the gold standard. The little pictures of monkeys, bullshit artists, yeah, that doesn't, it's not even in the same world. And thinking that it's all a scam because of it using the same mathematical algorithms, that is just not understanding it. Folks, see you in our next video. Take care.